Well, what a week this has been. Let's do a quick update on the challenge that I've been doing for the 5%ers.
Wait. Matron, take them away.
And a warm welcome to one and all. If this is your first time here, the big fella, that is the Scruffy Trader. What I'm trying to do is put trading in the real world. Maybe show you a trick or two along the way. So if that sounds good, do take a second to hit that little subscribe button. Genuinely helps. And if you find value in any of the videos, smash the like and the super thanks. Generally keeps the lights on and the channel alive. So what's the challenge? What have I been up to? Well, if this is your first time here, I actually trade for a living. And part of that living is trading for a prop firm, proprietary firm, where they will put the money up the market, I trade it, and we split the profits. Very, very simple. But in order to be trusted with the money, shall we say, they make you do an evaluation. Now, the 5%ers are slightly different in the sense that you go straight to market live from day one on the instant funding. Now, if you do that, you have a set of criteria, and as soon as you've done it, they pay you. That's simple. Whereas there's others out there that you have to go through one evaluation, then do another one and another one, and then when you pass, you've got to do it all again, and eventually you get paid. With these, you're pretty much into the market day one, and away you go. Very, very simple. So what's this got to do with a slice of bread? Well, I've done it a couple of times before, and I do trade some decent size accounts for them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the little one that I started, because I was requested to do it again from start to finish, because there's some new people have come into the channel and they hadn't seen it, and they wanted to see the process to see if it was feasible. And I was more than happy to do that. So let me switch the screens on. I'll show you the statement, tell you a little bit about it, and then if you've got any questions, just drop it in the comments below. So give me a second and we'll fire this up.
Well, we're waiting.
Okay, guys. Now, with most things, I am heavily into journaling, which is kind of what you're seeing here. But before I go through the journal and show you the statement, because I'll show you the live statement as well, I'll just show you who the 5%ers are. Now, there are two ways to go to market. You either go down the traditional route, which is you have your own broker, put your own funds in, and you trade it. Now, one of my preferred brokers, I use a number, but for this particular process, the prop firm I use is MT5, and the MT5 broker that I recommend is BlackBull Markets. Why? They're one of the few that'll give you a decent leverage. You can put as much money in it as you like. I mean, it starts with 0, so you can put 50 quid in or something like that, and just trade micro positions and use the leverage in order to open up. And the spreads are from 0. Don't get any cheaper than that. So these are a good market partner, if you like. They're very flexible. They also use web traders, which you see me use as well, because I do like web trader for analysis, and then your MT5 for execution. Okay. Now, the other way of going to market is with a prop fund, and my prop fund of choice is the 5%ers. And why? Because I have the freedom to do what I want when I want. I also have the freedom to trade how I want. Now, let me explain that. Now, they have kind of three ways of going to market at this moment in time. You have trade the pool, which is if you like stocks and shares. Now, I don't. So I don't really look at that too much. If you are intermediate and you're learning your skill set, you have the boot camp where you go through 3 challenges and you've got 12 months to do it, and it's a very low buy-in. So that's a good way at low cost, but you still got skin in the game. But if you're like myself, where you know what you're doing, and the only thing that you haven't got for you is, say, a lot of money, the instant funding is the way to go. Now, this is the program I'm going to show you. I went for the middle one. Why? Because I wanted a decent return, and an investment of 385 for what I'm going to get on the other side is massive. So what happens is, if you've only got, say, $500 to play with, this could expedite your process into getting a bigger fund, and then you can use this fund to fund your own broker. It's kind of the way I look at it. Now, why do I mean you can trade the way you want, when you want? Well, there's no restrictions on it, not really. The caveat to that is indices. They don't particularly like you to carry them over a weekend because the swaps are huge. But apart from that, do what you like. You know, you want to trade scalp, you scalp. You want to position trade, you position trade. You do what you like. And then you go down two routes. You can either go down low risk, which is the route that I'm on here, where I have 180 days to pass the process, which is effectively 6 months. I've got a 2% stop loss rule. Well, if you manage your position size, that's quite wide. You've got 1 in 10 leverage. Well, if you look at the drawdown as your account and the balance as your leverage, that doesn't become an issue. And you've got to grow it by 6%, which is essentially 1% a month. 6 months to do it, 6%. Cool. Now let's just say you're a bit aggressive. Don't like using stop losses. You want to really ramp things up because you like leverage. You go on the other side, which is called aggressive, but you've got to do 12%, but you don't need a stop loss. You've got to do it in 60 days, and the leverage is 130. Now, for me, the better of the two was the low risk, because it means I can take my time, be methodical, and just pass, which you've seen me do a few times, actually. I mean, I did it a number of times last year, and they've now become very good wage earners for me. Here. You know, proof's in the pudding. So now I'm doing it again because I was asked to. There's not enough hours in the day, guys. Not enough hours in the day. So what happens with this? Well, you get 50% of the split. Now, there's a few people grumble about that. Now, personally, I think that's fair. They put the money up, you do the work, and split the difference. Excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. Phone always rings when you don't want it to. Anyway, so it's an excellent program to follow through. And not only that, every time you do 10%, it'll double the account. And that'll run up to 4 million. So this is sort of life-changing money, if you like. And when you pass, your initial funding is 10,000. You've got a drawdown of 600. As long as you stay within that, you're fine, you pass. That becomes 40,000. You do 10% of that, it becomes 80,000, 160, all the way up to 4 million. Simple stuff. And if you want to try it, there's a 5% discount link in the description below. So where am I up to with this? Well, that's what that little sheet was at the start, which is here. Now, I journal everything, all right? And it keeps me grounded. So there's my summary of what I need to achieve. I've copied £6 into there. Bollocks. All right. I'll have to change that, guys. Change that because we're in September. So that'll be October through March. And I need to get rid of that. There we go. That's it fixed. That's my journal fixed. I was chewing on with it earlier on. Anyway, there you go. Real life mistakes as well. How good is that? And mistakes is the thing. That's why I'm bringing this up today, because I didn't so much make a mistake today, but got in a little bit early on a DAX trade. And because the 5%ers don't like you to carry things over a weekend, I killed some off. However, I was net positive. Now, what does net positive mean? Well, it's exactly what it says it is. It means that whatever happened, let me show you. I'll show you the platform. This is what it is. It's an MT5 real account, and if I pull this up to history, you'll see that it's positive 9, but there's reds within it. The reason behind that is I didn't want it to run past 4 o'clock, so I killed everything off as long as I was positive. Now, it could have run up, I would have been happy, or it could have come back, as it has done, and took all the profit with it. So I have to be a bit conservative. And that's the thing with this. Because I'm dealing with a small drawdown, I have to be conservative. But at this moment in time, I'm doing quite well. 84 hit rate. Done quite a few pips. I'm trading pennies. Okay. And then I journal it as I'm going. As you can see, there's those losses into there. So it's just one of those things. I need to fill that in a bit more. And then I'll show you my statement so you can see exactly where I'm up to, which is here. Now, there it is, my name. Constantly working on getting this better for myself, because I want to just have slow, steady growth. Now, the other day, there was a CPI announcement coming out. And again, I killed off the trades before the announcement. And the kicker is, if I'd left them, I'd have made a fortune. But it could have gone either way. So that clipped me here, you know, which made me sort of worry a little bit, you know. So you sort of have a little bit of a loss. But my daily count is, I'm more green than I am red. So I'm very happy with what's going on. I've done 84 deals total. I'm holding an 82% hit rate, as balanced out. And the important part is down here, the profit factor. It's at 2.7, even though I've killed trades off, which means not only is it profitable, it's sustainable if it's over 1. So I'm quite happy with the results that I have. So there we go. I'm not long into this. I started it for the 1st of this month, was when I took the first trade, even though I opened it on the 29th of August. I waited till the first sort of trading day of September. We are now on the 16th, and I've got till the 1st of March next year to complete, and I'm 22% into it, positive. So I'm really happy with the way this is going. So what's the moral of the story here? Well, it's less is more. And what does that mean? It means I've broke it down to its smallest component, and then I'm just building day by day. That's it. I'm not looking to crash this out in a week. You know, if it takes me to Christmas, it takes me to Christmas. And in fact, that would still be 3 months ahead of schedule. But what happens at the end of that? Well, it means in January, I have another account that I can trade and pay me again. Simple stuff, guys. So my return on investment is pretty darn good. So there you go. There's just an update. Like I say, if you've got questions about it, kind of got to know it inside out now. It's kind of why I do the webinars for the 5%ers as well. If you go on the dashboard, you'll see that I do a lot of training for them. And why? Because they see all my statements and they trust me. And I return the favour by helping them best I can. So as always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all on the next one.